Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Holly and this is my Southern California Zone 9B garden. And today is a beautiful day. It's warm, it's sunny, and I thought it would be a good day to take you on a little bit of a garden tour. So here you can see at the edge of my raised bed garden my seedlings, which I started just a few weeks ago, and I showed you how to do that on a video. And they're getting pretty big. So I think especially over here, the large ones, the tomatoes and the beans and the pumpkins should be ready to go out pretty soon. And then what you can see here is most of my raised bed garden. Don't worry about the hardware cloth on the ground over there. That is part of my ongoing effort to thwart the raccoons that are always digging up my yard. We can talk more about that later. But here in this first bed, and you can see I've got bird netting too. That's not for birds. That's the only thing that seems to be keeping the raccoons from digging up my beds as well. But what you can see here is I have some garlic on the end of the bed, and it's going to be ready in just a couple weeks, I think. And back in here, it's kind of hard to see with the netting, but there's some beets, some red Merlot lettuce, some celery, and then around here you can see some carrots. And there were cabbages and green onions along here that I've already harvested. And then we've got some giant mustard in the back, which I'm letting go to seed, mainly because it has a lot of aphids on it, and I want the aphids to draw in the beneficial insects who want to come eat them. And then I have a little bit of dinosaur kale here that's, as you can see, starting to flower. And once again, I'm letting it flower for the beneficial insects. And this bed here you might recognize from a previous video, but this is the one where I pulled out the cover crops, and my green beans are going to go in here in just a little while. And on the side, oh, you can see some nice nasturtiums. But the best looking ones, most of them got really beat down by the unusual snow that we had, which is the first time in 17 years. And then some nice sweet peas, which smell absolutely amazing. And here we have a cattle pennel trellis with peas, and you can see some of them are starting to yellow. So these peas I planted in the fall. I've been harvesting since January. We've gotten more than 10 pounds of peas off of this, and that's after shelling, because these are shelling peas. And now I think it's about time to start thinking about pulling them out. Let's move through here. I want to talk a bit about this mess here. This is Mizuna that I let flower, again for the pollinators and bringing in the beneficial insects, as well as I let them be covered in aphids because I wanted ladybugs to be encouraged to come. So you can see some aphids in there, but it's time to pull it out, so I might do that today. And over here on the right, these are actually California natives. It's kind of a big movement in my area is to plant natives. They're water wise, and also they bring in a lot of good beneficial insects and birds and such. So these are sages and coffeeberry, and down at the bottom there, some California fuchsia. You can see more nasturtiums, more beautiful sweet peas. And a cat. That's not our cat. We call that Cat Hunter. It's a very nice cat. If we go through here, you can see I have some red Russian kale. That's the frilly leafed stuff. And then some collards over here. They're starting to bolt. And I did have some broccoli, but I already tore that out. And then I'm going to turn around, show you some more nasturtiums and sweet peas, because I've got them in all my little tubs there. and then show you my bed of leeks. We got a lot of leeks going on here. I think maybe 130 because we use a lot of leeks, and they should be ready, well, I hope in a month or so, because they're going to have to come out for summer crops. Another arch, more sweet peas. I just love them. My mom grew them when I was a kid for me, so it's very nostalgic for me to be able to grow them. Got some dill over there, some more sweet peas. And actually, here's another cattle panel arch, and you can kind of see back into the orchard. But I have more shelling peas on this arch. And once again, you can see that they still have peas, but they're almost done. And then I have some wire fencing there, which was part of a raccoon deterring project, which is like my life. And then here's another empty bed. I actually had winter tomatoes here, and I pulled all those out a couple weeks ago, and then I'm probably going to put corn in here today. That's the goal. And then you can see back there, you can see our bee boxes between our baby avocado trees. Those are great for pollinating as well. And we trimmed back. We have, as you can see, purple lantana all along this fence, but we trimmed it back, so that's why it's kind of brown on the sides, but it'll come back. It was just getting a bit unruly. You can see our Meyer lemon tree, which was loaded, but a lot fell off after it snowed. It doesn't snow here, people, so it's very rare. Got a guava tree. Leaves looking a little sad from the cold, but it'll come back. And you can see compost pile, and see that brush pile? That's our pile of sticks and branches and stuff that we actually use an electric shredder, and we shred it up, and then we use it as mulch around the garden. Oh, look, here's a baby mulberry tree. Dwarf Everbearing is the variety. You can see by the raised beds, that's a tangerine tree, and this is a pomegranate tree right in front of you. This is a blood orange tree that I completely cut back and rehabilitated. It's looking pretty good. And then that is our walnut tree, this bare one. It hasn't leafed out yet. Oh, you can see a sad Italian cypress that died. I gotta take that one out. I don't know what happened there. You can see our little olive tree. That's a Koroneke, or however you say it, Koroniki olive. It's pretty young. It's our Washington navel. It's going to have a lot of oranges this year. I wanted to take you back to this raised bed. This is where we get the coldest temps back here. And so you can see in the far back corner, that's a rhubarb plant. It just needs more cold weather. And there should be another one coming up next to it. And then these guys are potatoes coming up. They actually should have come up about 3 weeks ago, but everything has been delayed because it's been so unusually cold here. But things seem to be warming up now. Oh, you can see there's a fig tree leafing out behind there. This is our apricot tree. It's Royal Blenheim, and I'm excited. This tree's only like 2.5 years old, but it looks like we're going to have lots and lots of apricots. I'm so happy about that. And they're just, I won't show you the whole tree, but it's just loaded. So I'm very, very excited. This is a little persimmon tree. It's Fuyu. And I just love it. We got some persimmons off it last year. This is a kaffir lime. That term is considered derogatory in some corners of the world, and so you can also call it a makrut lime. And this is the one where you use the leaves, for example, in Southeast Asian, like Thai cooking. There's a little kumquat tree, so tiny, but was actually loaded with kumquats this year, and they were very tasty. Then our peach tree, that's a new one. That is Mid-Pride. It's good. It's a good low chill variety since we usually don't get a lot of chill hours, but boy, we did this year. And this is a Moro Blood Orange. It's just a few years old, and I just pulled the last of the oranges off it, but it was pretty loaded for such a small tree. I don't know what variety fig this is. It was here when we moved in, but it is a very, very tasty fig. And there's actually another one behind the shed as well. It's really good. And then there's this beautiful giant fig tree that's my favorite. And its figs are dry and useless and terrible, but the tree is gorgeous and it's a wonderful shade tree. And then along the fence, we have a lot more California natives planted there. This is some other sort of navel tree. I don't know what variety, but it's really good. And then we're back at our seedlings. Right next to the seedlings, I put in a bear's lime. It's still really tiny because our other one died. And you can see our big Valencia orange, and then that big tree next to it behind it is a loquat. Loquats should be ready in a month or so. They're really good. And then this smaller tree by the fence is a mango. I think it's Valencia Pride. It's still pretty young, and it really got knocked back by the cold this year. So I don't know if we're going to get any mangoes anytime soon. Oh, and this is a native elderberry, which produces fruit as well. Kind of missed the tangerine and the grapefruit, but that's okay. So we'll go back and I'll show you just a couple more seedlings. Been doing some work, and I'm going to plant some herbs down here around the bird bath. It's back by our garbage cans, but it's a good protected spot for some more seedlings. And so here we have some flowers. So the really tiny ones are sweet alyssum, and then the slightly bigger ones are marigolds. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little tour. Now you kind of get a sense of what my yard is like. I hope that you are having a lovely day. For those of you who celebrate, I hope you have a happy Easter. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss a video. And I will see you all next time.